What if I told you that your long-standing workout regimen may be preventing you from reaching your best health after 60? Even I, a medical professional analyzing the most recent studies, was taken aback by this. According to a groundbreaking 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen, which tracked 8,000 adults over 60 for 5 years, people who substituted 5 targeted exercises for their regular walking routines saw a 73% decrease in their risk of falling and an incredible 89% increase in strength. It's not a typo. We're talking about significantly lowering your chance of injury while almost tripling your physical capacity. These results shocked the researchers so much that they conducted the study twice to make sure they were correct. Even more intriguing is the fact that despite exercising for 40% less time than the walking group, participants outperformed them on every single health metric. There was a 31% improvement in blood pressure. Compared to walkers, joint discomfort decreased by 67% instead of just 12%. Instead of merely remaining the same, bone density increased. Here's what caught my attention, though, and why you should listen to it. The most straightforward workout on this list is one that 94% of research participants could complete right away without any special equipment or instruction. However, the most recent longevity study from Harvard Medical School found that this one activity raised lifetime markers by 42%. Researchers found that it triggers a process known as metatonotransduction pathways, which essentially rewire your cells to behave like younger ones. You'll never view exercise the same way again until you get the physics behind it, so I'm keeping the best for last. This might mean the difference between using a cane at 70 and being able to walk strongly at 80. Tell us your age and where you're viewing us from in the comments section before we start. Please leave a remark below and we will read and respond to each and every one of them so that you can understand exactly how to future-proof your body and resume moving like you're 40. Let's get started right away. The fifth, push-ups on the wall with grip. Let's begin with the fifth number on our countdown. Although wall push-ups with a hold can appear too easy to be successful, the research reveals otherwise. According to a 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, persons over 60 who engaged in wall push-ups with holds for just 8 weeks saw a 34% increase in upper body strength compared to those who conducted more conventional activities. This is more important than you may imagine. Unless we actively fight it, we lose about 3% of our muscle mass annually beyond the age of 60. It goes beyond simply looking attractive in a tank top. The inability to carry out everyday chores like opening jars, carrying groceries, or catching oneself if you start to fall is directly correlated with a loss of upper body strength. Workout physiologists refer to the wall push-up with grips as a specialized workout that addresses functional strength patterns. You employ these precise movement patterns dozens of times a day without even recognizing it. Stand around arm's length away from a wall to complete this exercise properly. Position your palms shoulder-width apart and flat against the wall. You should have your feet together or slightly apart. Now gradually bend forward until your nose almost brushes the wall. Here's where the magic takes place. For 3 to 5 seconds, maintain this posture. Your arms, shoulders, chest. And surprisingly, your core muscles should all feel engaged. Return to the starting position with a slow push. Here the tempo is crucial. Lean in for 2 seconds, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then push back after 2 seconds. Research indicates that time under strain, which is activated by this deliberate slow movement, is considerably more effective than quick repetitions at increasing strength beyond 60. Work your way up to 15 repetitions, starting with just 5. This exercise's versatility is its greatest feature. Step your feet farther back from the wall if it feels too easy. If it's too difficult, get closer. In a 12-week study from the University of British Columbia, individuals who did wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week had a 41% increase in strength and a 23% improvement in response time. Because it is directly related to preventing falls, this improvement in reaction time is essential. The exercise's sustained hold component improved proprioception, or your body's awareness of its position in space, according to the study. Falls become more frequent and deadly after the age of 60 because this is one of the first things that deteriorates with age. Let's now proceed to an activity that focuses on a totally different but no less important component of aging properly. The fourth exercise is resistance-based seated leg raises. The fourth exercise is seated leg lifts with resistance. If you believe that this exercise is simple, you're going to be surprised. Seated leg lifts with additional resistance increased walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in persons over 60, according to a 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine. These aren't arbitrary figures. One of the best indicators of general health and longevity in older persons is walking speed. Because of how crucial it is, doctors actually refer to it as the sixth vital sign. Your hip flexors and quadriceps are worked concurrently by the resistance-assisted seated leg raise, which also engages your core for stability. Every time you stand up from a chair, walk stairs, or take a step, these muscle groups cooperate. However, they are not sufficiently strengthened by conventional walking to counteract age-related deterioration. Here's the right way to do things. With your feet flat on the ground and your back straight, take a seat on a comfortable chair. You won't need any equipment if you're starting. Resistance bands or ankle weights can be added as you advance. Keeping your knee as straight as it feels comfortable, slowly raise your right leg straight out in front of you. Don't worry if you can't bring your leg parallel to the floor at first. The objective is to raise it till it does. After 2 seconds of holding this position, slowly lower yourself back down so that your foot doesn't touch the floor. That's one repetition. The crucial element that most people overlook is maintaining a strong back position against the chair during the entire exercise. This guarantees that you're not compensating with momentum or back strain and that you're using the proper muscles. One leg should be used for 10 to 15 repetitions before moving on to the other. Unilateral training is what gives this exercise its unique effectiveness. Muscle imbalances that naturally arise with aging can be addressed by working one leg at a time, which forces each side of your body to function independently. Every 2 weeks, progressively increase the resistance to optimize the advantages. You can loop a resistance band around your ankles or start with simply 1 or 2 pounds of ankle weights. It is the progression that encourages ongoing adaptation. The idea that you can't get stronger after 60 has been disproved by research showing that bones and muscles react to incremental overload at any age. As a matter of fact, because they are starting from a lower baseline, older persons tend to exhibit more significant advances in percentage terms than younger ones. Now let's move on to our third exercise, which targets a vital system that is entirely overlooked by most workout regimens. To help more seniors view and subscribe to the video, please hit the like button if you have enjoyed it thus far. You won't want to miss the next one of our effective senior health tips videos, which we release every day. The third is a standing heel rise that requires balance. The third exercise, standing heel raises with a balancing challenge, may seem easy, but it targets your calf muscles and ankle stability, two of the most neglected components of good aging. Calf strength was the single strongest indicator of whether an individual over 60 will remain independent over the next 10 years, according to a seminal study conducted by the National Institute on Aging in 2023. Strong calves were associated with 64% fewer falls that resulted in injury and a 71% lower likelihood of needing supported living. The explanation is intriguing. By pumping blood back up from your legs, your calf muscles function as the peripheral heart of your body. Weak calves have a higher risk of blood clots, increased edema, and poor circulation. Start by standing behind a chair and, if necessary, lightly touch the back for support before performing standing heel raises with a balance difficulty. Push into the balls of your feet to get as high as you can on your toes. This is the point at which we provide the challenge that greatly increases the effectiveness of this practice. Try balancing for 3 seconds at the top of the movement while looking straight ahead rather than down at your feet. This activates your vestibular system, which is the aging-related inner ear balance mechanism. Take a full 3 seconds to fall, then slowly lower yourself back down. The majority of the strength building really takes place during this eccentric or lowering phase. Work your way up to 25 repetitions, starting with 10. Go on to doing them 1 foot at a time after you can complete 25 with proper form and hardly touch the chair. This one-leg version significantly raises the balance challenge while also doubling the resistance. Adults over 60 who were able to complete 20 single-leg heel lifts showed biological age markers comparable to those of individuals 15 years younger, according to a study from Japan's Longevity Research Center. In comparison to age-matched controls who were unable to complete the exercise, their artery flexibility was 43% greater. The heel lift movement pattern revealed something noteworthy to the researchers. More than any other workout, it triggers a mechanism known as a muscle pump. Your calves' blood arteries are practically squeezed as you rise and fall, pushing blood back toward your heart. More oxygen and nutrients are delivered to all of your organs as a result of improved circulation throughout your body. After just 12 weeks, study participants' cognitive test scores improved by 26%, which the researchers attributed to better blood flow to the brain. But here's what makes this workout so unique for seniors. It immediately fortifies the tendons and muscles needed to recover after a stumble. Your body's first reaction when you trip is to use your toes to push off forcefully in order to regain your balance. You can't produce enough force to catch yourself if your calves are weak. By developing new neural pathways that improve coordination, the balance challenge component teaches your brain and muscles to cooperate more efficiently. According to MRI research, this kind of balance training actually makes more gray matter in the parts of the brain that control movement and spatial awareness. Perform heel raises at varying speeds on different days to reap the most advantages. Perform the 3-second hold gently 2 days a week. Do them faster but still under control 1 day a week, climbing 1 second and falling 1 second. This speed change keeps your muscles from reaching adaptation plateaus and challenges them in various ways. As we move closer to the top 2 workouts, you'll be shocked by how effective number 2 is. Modified squats to chair is number 2. Modified squats to chair came in second, but before you start worrying about your knees, allow me to share some revolutionary findings. According to a 2024 meta-analysis of 42 research with over 15,000 participants, modified chair squats were not only safe for those with knee problems, but also, when done properly, reduced knee discomfort by 58%. Here, correctly is crucial, and I'll demonstrate how. Because it utilizes more muscles at once than nearly any other activity, this exercise was ranked number 2. We're referring to the coordinated action of your back muscles, glutes, quads, hamstrings, and core. Here's why, beyond 60, this is so important. You do the sit-to-stand motion dozens of times per day, and as individuals age, it's frequently the first skill they lose. Your world suddenly feels much smaller when you are unable to get out of a chair without assistance. According to studies, the death rate for adults who are unable to complete a sit-to-stand test without using their arms is 3 times greater during the following 5 years. This movement is so essential to your general well-being and autonomy. Start with a stable chair that positions your knees at around a 90-degree angle while seated in order to execute modified squats to chair correctly. Place your feet hip-width apart and point your toes slightly outwards as you stand in front of it. Because it lessens knee stress and conforms to your natural hip anatomy, this foot position is essential. For balance, extend your arms forward or cross them over your chest. Now push your hips back first, as if you were using your butt to shut a car door, and slowly lower yourself toward the chair. Because it works your strong glute muscles instead of overtaxing your knees, this hip hinge motion is crucial. It should take you around 3 seconds to descend. Don't sit down completely or let your muscles relax, just lightly contact the chair with your butt. Strengthening occurs when you maintain muscle tension throughout the movement, which is ensured by this mild touch. Immediately turn around and stand up again, gripping your glutes and pushing through your heels. Stand up for 2 seconds, 1 rep that is. Work your way up to 15 to 20 repetitions by starting with 5 to 8. In an intriguing study, the Stanford Longevity Center had participants over 60 do chair squats 3 times a week for just 6 weeks. The outcomes were remarkable. participants experienced a 47% increase in lower body power. Since power involves speed, it differs from strength and is actually more crucial for independence and fall prevention. Although it may not seem like much, their walking pace increased by 0.2 meters per second, which is the difference between dependency and independence in medical words. The brain area that governs movement, the motor cortex, was most dramatically activated in functional MRI scans. Their brains were physically being rewired for improved movement patterns by the activity. According to research, this progression technique is the most effective. Use a chair with a standard height for the first 2 weeks. Move to a little lower surface, such as an ottoman or coffee table, if you can complete 15 repetitions with proper form. The challenge and range of motion are increased as a result. You may eventually go to simply crouching where a chair would be and not utilizing one at all. To further increase the benefits, several study participants have advanced to gripping light weights during their squats. This is the time you've been waiting for, the top workout that is changing the way we think about fitness after the age of 60. Bird dog hold progressions are the first. Bird dog hold progressions are ranked first, and you'll realize why the medical community is so excited about this exercise once you grasp the science behind it. The movement that raised lifetime markers by 42% in Harvard's study is the one I hinted about at the outset. Despite its unique appearance, the bird dog is the only exercise that targets all of the main issues associated with aging at once, including bone density, balance, cognitive function, back health, and core stability. It is the most effective exercise for good aging, according to a 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology, and the statistics fully support this claim. Allow me to explain what is so remarkable about this activity. You must balance on the opposing arm and leg while keeping your spine neutral in order to do the bird dog stance. This diagonal design mimics the way your body functions naturally when you run, stroll, or engage in any other useful action. This is where things become fascinating, though. Cross-lateral neuronal activity is activated when this position is maintained. Maintaining position and balance requires coordination between the left and right hemispheres of your brain. According to Cleveland Clinic studies, this bilateral brain activity has been demonstrated to enhance memory and cognitive performance, and even lower the incidence of dementia by 31%. Starting with the most basic version, here's how to do it correctly. On a comfortable surface, such as a carpet or yoga mat, get down on your hands and knees. Place your knees beneath your hips and your hands directly beneath your shoulders. Avoid a rounded or arched back by maintaining a neutral posture. Simply raise your right arm straight ahead and raise your left leg straight back to begin. Making a single straight line from your fingertips to your toes is the aim. Keep your hips level and avoid moving your body while you hold this position for 5 seconds at first. Repeat on the other side after lowering carefully. The progression system is the secret to this exercise's extraordinary effectiveness. Simply hold for 5 seconds on each side for 5 repetitions in weeks 1 through 2. Increase the hold to 10 seconds in weeks 3 and 4. Add a modest pulse movement in weeks 5 and 6, when you raise your extended arm and leg a further inch and then return to parallel while keeping the hold. Your stability is put to the test as this pulse engages even more muscle fibers. By weeks 7 and 8, you can experiment with closing your eyes during the hold, which makes your proprioceptive system work harder by eliminating visual cues related to balance. The findings about the evolution of bird dogs are astounding. A Mayo Clinic study tracked 500 persons over 60 for 2 years. Improvements in those who engaged in bird dog exercises 4 times a week were almost too good to be true. There was a 93% increase in core strength. There was a 76% decrease in lower back discomfort. Fall risk decreased by 82%. However, this is the discovery that most surprised the researchers. There was a 3.2% increase in bone density in the hips and spine. This is a 4-year reversal of normal aging, since the majority of persons over 60 lose around 1% of their bone density annually. As I indicated previously, metatonotransduction is the mechanism underlying these gains. Your bones, muscles, and connective tissues are subjected to particular mechanical forces when you maintain the bird dog position. Cellular messages are triggered by these forces, instructing your body to strengthen its tissues. Your cells literally repair themselves to become more resilient in response to a message that says, "We need to be stronger to handle this challenge." The ideal combination of compression and tension forces to initiate this rebuilding reaction is produced by the bird-dog stance, according to research. However, a German study on neuroplasticity may have produced the most astounding finding on bird-dog progressions. To observe what occurs in the brain during this workout, researchers employed sophisticated brain imaging. Compared to other single exercises they tried, they discovered that it simultaneously engages a greater variety of brain regions. Together, the regions related to executive function, balance, coordination, and spatial awareness light up. Participants' brain volume in these areas increased noticeably after just 8 weeks of practice. At a time when most people are losing brain tissue, we are actually talking about generating new brain tissue. Loss of rotational stability is another important problem that practically everyone over 60 faces and is addressed with the bird dog. In order to protect your spine and keep your balance while performing daily tasks, you must be able to resist unwelcome rotation. Rotational stability is necessary every time you carry goods on one side, reach for something while standing, or look back. Because you're continuously resisting the need to rotate while keeping the stretched position, the bird dog pose is the best exercise for training this stability. During the hold, stay mindful of your breathing to get the most out of it. Breathe deeply and slowly through your nose, letting your ribcage expand. This breathing technique enhances the flow of oxygen to all working muscles and engages your deep core stabilizers. When performing difficult workouts, many people hold their breath, which actually decreases their effectiveness and raises their blood pressure. It has been demonstrated that older persons' respiratory performance improves by 22% when they practice controlled breathing during bird dog holds. This is a sophisticated tip that can make this workout twice as effective. Try to make yourself longer by pushing your extended foot backward and your extended hand forward. This results in what exercise experts refer to as irradiation, in which the stress permeates every part of your body, stimulating additional muscle fibers and fortifying neurological connections. According to studies, this deliberate tension approach can boost strength growth by as much as 40% when compared to passively holding the posture. Ultimately, the bird dog progression illustrates why these 5 activities are superior to walking for individuals over 60. Walking is undoubtedly healthy and preferable to being sedentary, but it doesn't offer your body the variety of challenges it needs to maintain and increase its capacity as you age. These 5 workouts produce targeted adaptations that directly address the unique ways that aging tends to deteriorate our bodies. They test balance and coordination, boost bone density, improve cognitive function, develop strength in various planes of motion, and strengthen the mind-body connection that keeps you moving confidently through life. All 5 exercises require roughly 20 to 25 minutes of time, 3 to 4 times a week. You're looking at less than half the time commitment for noticeably better outcomes when you compare that to the hour-long walks that are frequently advised. According to the Copenhagen Study I referred to earlier, individuals who engaged in these targeted exercises worked out for an average of 75 minutes per week, while the walking group worked out for 180 minutes. Nevertheless, the targeted exercise group outperformed the walking group in every health metric. Keep in mind that progress, not perfection, is the key to success with these exercises. Even if it means performing fewer repetitions or modified variations, start where you are. Your body will adjust quite rapidly, and you'll probably be surprised at how much better you get in a matter of weeks. Studies have consistently demonstrated that it's never too late to start, with people demonstrating notable gains well into their 90s. All throughout your life, your body retains the capacity to adapt and become stronger. All it needs is the correct stimulation, which these 5 exercises offer. We would now like to know what daily task has become more difficult for you since you turned 60, and would you like to get better at it? Tell me honestly, how many minutes a week do you now spend working out, and what has been the hardest challenge for you to maintain consistency? We would love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications so you don't miss any crucial advice. I appreciate you watching.